In a move that shocked the world, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad stepped down from his position on December 7, 2024. This came after a 2-week offensive by rebel groups, leading to a swift collapse of Assad's defenses and his eventual departure. While the Kremlin has stated this was Assad's personal decision, the speed at which events unfolded has left many, including Russia, reeling. Russia's ties with Syria run deep. They have been a staunch ally of the Assad regime for decades. Russia's military intervention in 2015 was critical in propping up Assad's government. This recent turn of events has put a serious dent in Russia's image as a global power. The sudden collapse of the Assad regime, a long-standing Russian ally, is a major blow to Moscow's foreign policy ambitions. It raises serious questions about Russia's ability to exert influence in the region. The ramifications of Assad's departure are vast and far-reaching. For Russia, it signifies a significant setback in its pursuit of a multipolar world order, one where it stands as a counterbalance to the West. The Kremlin's inability to foresee, let alone prevent, the fall of the Assad regime casts doubt on its strategic prowess and its reliability as a partner. This sentiment is echoed by many experts. This is a clear defeat for Russia, says Tatiana Stanovaya, a senior fellow at the Carnegie Russia-Eurasia Center. It exposes the limits of their power and undermines their efforts to position themselves as a major player in the Middle East. The ripple effects of this event are already being felt. Russia is now forced to engage with groups it previously labeled as terrorists, such as Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, or HTS. This shift in stance is evident in Russian state media, which has begun referring to these groups as the armed opposition. The military implications of Assad's fall are perhaps the most concerning for Russia. The future of its strategically important Hmeimim air base and Tartus naval base, Russia's only military base in the Mediterranean, hangs in the balance. The loss of these bases would significantly diminish Russia's military footprint in the Middle East. These bases are not just about projecting military power, they are crucial for logistical operations, particularly in Africa. Syria served as a vital transit point for Russian military personnel and equipment headed to Africa, explains Nikita Smogin, an expert on Russian foreign policy in the Middle East. The loss of these bases would severely hamper Russia's ability to support its operations on the African continent. Russia is currently engaged in negotiations with the new Syrian authorities to secure the safety of its personnel and assets. However, the outcome of these talks remains uncertain. The economic repercussions of Assad's fall are equally severe for Russia. The financial investments and military expenditures made by Russia in Syria over the years have been substantial. With the regime's collapse, these investments are now at risk, and the economic strain on an already struggling Russian economy could be profound. The cost of maintaining its military operations and the potential loss of economic partnerships in the region could turn Syria into an economic black hole for Russia. Title None. Finally, Russia's losses include the business investments that the Russian state and companies may abandon after the fall of Assad. Unlike some of its neighbors, Syria is not particularly rich in fossil fuels. It accounts for only 0.3% of the Middle East's proven oil reserves, 2.5 billion barrels, and 0.4% of proven natural gas reserves. Instead, Moscow has moved to invest in Syria's mineral industry, which was thriving before the civil war, and in its infrastructure. Most notably, in 2019, Russia said it would invest $500 million in the Syrian port of Tartus, where Russia established a naval base. It is not clear how much of this sum Moscow actually spent in the run-up to the Assad regime's collapse. In addition, structures linked to Kremlin-connected businessman Gennady Timchenko were allegedly granted access to a Syrian phosphate mine near the city of Palmyra. Syria is estimated to have substantial reserves of phosphates, which are used in the production of various goods, especially fertilizers. However, according to a 2019 Financial Times report, the Syrian regime and Russia sold phosphate to the global market from existing stockpiles and did not invest their own resources into new mining. Indeed, despite lofty announcements of major projects, Russia has not publicly confirmed any substantial investments already made in Syria. In total, according to the most generous estimates, Russia's unsuccessful backing of Assad may have costed about $27.5 billion over 9 years. This situation is a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of international alliances and the high stakes involved in global power dynamics.